Hi guys, it's KJ the MI Tech Guy here, and today I'm going to talk 360. I've gotten a lot of questions on how I get certain shots in my videos, and a lot of the times the answer is the Insta360 One X. In this video, I'll be comparing the Insta360 One X to the GoPro Hero 7, which to me is the only viable competition at that $400 price point. In this video, I'll first be comparing the camera's image qualities, their image stabilization, hyperlapse capabilities, and even microphone capabilities. Then later on, I'll take a deeper look as to why I think 360 cameras are the future. Let's get right into it. The GoPro Hero 7 is a very compact, durable 4K action camera. You probably know a lot about GoPros already because they have been everyone's action camera of choice for years now. On the other hand, you may not have known about the Insta360 One X until recently. This camera is still compact, shoots a 5.7K spherical image that equates to about 1080p 16:9 video, but the camera is admittedly not as rugged or durable. So while the Hero 7 works a lot like a normal camera, the Insta360 One X is a bit more complicated than that. The One X captures spherical images and videos of everything around it whenever it is recording. This means that when taking pictures, you can hold the camera out and from one image, you basically can choose between an infinite amount of angles based on the angle you're trying to get. Side by side, the image quality on the Hero 7 is clearer because it does have a higher density of pixels within the frame it captures images in. The 5.7K combined resolution of the One X is for the whole sphere. That is why the 16:9 footage is still around 1080p. So if you really just need pure image quality, the Hero 7 will still have the higher quality images and videos, and you should start veering that direction. But when we look at selfie images and video, we can notice that with the One X, it makes it look like there's some sort of drone or hovering camera that took the image. This is because when you use the Insta360 selfie stick, the camera automatically hides the stick from any angle, and if you hold it directly to your side, it really just looks like there's some magical floating camera. When I first saw images and video using the One X, I was really impressed. I'm not sure if the content captured on these cameras is as mind-blowing to you guys as it is to me, but I think it's incredible how some of these shots turn out. When planning this video, I really wanted to take a look at how the image stabilization capabilities of each camera compare, because both manufacturers really emphasized how good their image stabilization is. The Insta360 One X's stabilization is called flow state, whereas the one on the GoPro Hero 7 is called hyper smooth. When walking, both cameras show really impressive image stabilization. Without any sort of optical image stabilization on each camera, they both have to rely heavily on software, and I think both cameras did an excellent job with image stabilization. The Insta360 should have the advantage because it has more data points to stabilize the image because it captures a full spherical image. And this difference becomes really apparent when I start to run. With the One X, the image stays incredibly smooth despite my running. The Hero 7 visibly struggles with the harsh steps. Again, when I'm just walking, however, both are incredibly smooth. So keep these things in mind if there's a possibility you'll be running with these cameras. Next, I wanted to see the hyperlapse capabilities of each of these cameras. With the Hero 7, you have to change the mode to TimeWarp, which makes for some incredibly smooth hyperlapses that I've actually included in previous videos. The Hero 7's hyperlapses are really impressive, and given the fact that I'm just walking and not on any sort of skateboard or cart, makes it seem that much more impressive. But with the One X, I was able to take the hyperlapse to another level using its TimeShift setting. With the One X, I'm able to just take the video as I normally would and in post, add on this hyperlapse effect. And because it is all in post, I'm able to slow down certain sections of the video to really latch on to certain instances that I want to emphasize. I can even change the angle completely and have it point at me for the duration of the hyperlapse. As I put the two hyperlapses side by side, let me know which camera you prefer. Does the Hero 7's image quality outweigh the flexibility that the One X is providing you as a content creator? Now I want to test the audio coming from both cameras and see how the microphones of each camera picks up my voice. Both of these cameras really aren't meant for audio, so I'm actually curious how each camera picks up my voice in this setting where there's not really too much noise out right now. I'm holding both these cameras around the same distance from me, so it's actually a pretty fair comparison. I'm curious how the microphone qualities compare on both of these cameras. I'm trying to talk at a normal voice right now, not trying to yell, not talking too soft, so hopefully we'll see a clear difference, if there's any difference at all. As I said, both of these cameras are not made for their audio capturing capabilities. That being said, the Hero 7 took a clear step up from any of the GoPros in the past, and its audio doesn't sound bad at all. It sounds nice and full, but still because there isn't any sort of windshield, there's still a lot of background wind noise. The One X is picking up my voice, but it's just noticeably not as full. If you wanted to pick one of these cameras up for A-roll for like a vlog or something like that, then the Hero 7 still has the crispier image and audio. But beyond the points I just brought up, it gets hard to compare them directly because fundamentally they are two different types of devices. The GoPro Hero 7 is an inherently rugged device that also withstands water. With the One X, you have to purchase a separate case to achieve the same functionality. But outside the ruggedness and water resistance of the Hero 7, I'd argue that the Insta360 One X can do everything that the Hero 7 can, plus a lot more. Let's start off with the One X's editing interface, because there have been 360 cameras in the past, but it's just been much harder to edit the video. When opening the app, you can just click the camera button and you can connect to the camera via Wi-Fi. This is pretty easy because the app remembers the last device you connected to. Once inside, you can see the view of the camera and you can pan around and initiate a picture or recording right from here. But the best part of this app is the actual editing. You can trim a video down to the parts you want, and because the camera takes a spherical image, you can change to whatever aspect ratio you want right from the app. Once you choose an aspect ratio, this is where things get interesting. You have multiple ways to choose your camera angle. With the viewfinder mode, you can have the app track your different movements and put those movements into the actual footage. So if I click viewfinder, I can just click record, and as I move around, I can actually change the angle that at that moment the camera will be looking at. So when I press OK, and I go back and play this video, you can see that those exact movements were actually captured when I just did that, and at the end you have some video that was created with just me holding the Insta360 still. With Pivot Point, I can create really smooth pans just by setting pivot points and letting the software smoothly transition between the points. And with Smart Track, we can have the software automatically track a subject and maintain consistent framing. Earlier in this video where I was testing the microphones, I used the Smart Track to keep myself centered in frame. With a 360 camera, you can be much more in the moment, because if you wanted to capture the world around you, all you have to do is simply hold the camera up. You can start getting a bunch of shots that seemed otherwise impossible. I've been able to post some of my 360 pictures on Instagram, and I've gotten lots of questions of how the pictures were even possible. And because of the fact that you can software pan with the One X, simple pans that you'd have to physically move for the GoPro Hero 7 are just so much smoother on the One X. It should also be noted that in crowded environments, just holding the One X up and walking feels so much less invasive to the people around me than constantly trying to move a different camera like the Hero 7 to aim at what I want to capture. You can even do this cool little planet effect that gives you some variety to the types of shots you include in any sort of video or social media post. If you haven't noticed, I have already been including shots from the camera in my other videos over the past month. Using this attachment, there's actually another cool feature called BulletTime where you'll be able to spin the One X around you and create this really cool effect. The software will automatically keep you in the center of the frame and will again make the selfie sticks disappear in order to really have a piece of footage that nobody else can really execute without the One X. I honestly don't know how much I will use the BulletTime feature, but it is a really cool feature nonetheless. You might look strange just twisting this over your head, but the limitless possibilities of images you can capture make it worth it. Just show the people watching the footage and they'll be amazed as well. If you're thinking about getting this camera, I recommend you take a look at Insta360's Instagram page to gain some inspiration. They compile a lot of the best videos and images captured with their 360 cameras. It's a cool page to get inspired by the limitless potential of 360 cameras. So again, I'm not getting paid by either company to make this video. I had already had the GoPro Hero 7 and I have been loving it. And also I requested to have the Insta360 One X because I thought it was really cool. It's just the more and more I use the One X, the less I end up even bringing the Hero 7 with me. I just feel like I have so much more creative control with the One X because I don't have to worry about ever getting the framing perfectly right for anything. And Insta360 has actually developed and is still developing a lot of cool mounting accessories for the One X that will only take the shots created by the 360 cameras to another level. The GoPro Hero 7 is still a small rugged device that can be mounted anywhere and is really durable. It has a very high quality 4K sensor that can execute 1080p at 240 frames per second. And in straight up 16:9 image quality, you will end up with higher resolution with the Hero 7. But the One X's image quality isn't bad at all, and the peace of mind knowing that the entire sphere of view is captured at any given time you're recording just makes the image quality difference seem less significant. There are just a plethora of shots that are just impossible to get without some sort of camera crew or robot. The Insta360 One X takes already available 360 video capture technology and puts it into a package of hardware and software that everyone will be able to use. It's understandable if, even after watching this video, you think the GoPro Hero 7 is still the camera for you. But I'm just trying to express my opinion that I think 360 cameras are the future for just about any scenario that the GoPro Hero 7 would ever be used for. All the links will be down below for either of these cameras, and if you purchase the Insta360 using my link, you'll get the selfie stick for free. So that's all I had to talk about today. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and try to DM me on those platforms, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, make sure you're subscribed and have your notification bell clicked to stay up to date on my latest videos, because I have a lot of cool videos in the works. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.